everybody. It's the best time of the year, playoff football time, as postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. This is Lamb on the end around. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they gave up a few yards there. I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets' sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house. So they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. That's out to the flat for Gibson. Finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
Point it right.
Straight ahead, Gibson. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Mayfield on play action. Throw right side complete to Dodson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket, that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a play.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
Hey, we can push button security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Elliott. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw taken in by Samuel. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. They'll run with Gibson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Micah Parsons coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bit a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them at the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Good running right there, and this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
26-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Gallup getting it on the jet sweep. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A jet sweep. Here's Tolbert. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. No sweat from Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go to Elliott again. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Prescott.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
There he goes, right side. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown. And we'll see if that pick-6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Mayfield on 1st down. This will be caught at Samuel. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, 55 yards.
And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Prescott.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 46. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And the Commanders are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their 38.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Bobby McCain.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Second down and goal. Mayfield. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll try to run with Gibson, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Commanders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-0. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give them a good 10 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well, and they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Once more, Gibson.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the route is on. It's 24-0.
Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 10. This is Lamb on the end around.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Prescott now. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And taken right at the 35. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the third quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And some room to work. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Second and 7.
Here's Prescott. That's caught once again by Gallup.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Prescott. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now Prescott on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Inside give to Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Prescott. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And the Commanders are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. A give up the middle to Gibson. 47 yards on the ground for him so far.
I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Gibson again.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
7 yards there and a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll run here with Gibson. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run with Gibson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Sly able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now on is the field goal unit. And boy, this is speculative at best, crazy at worst. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking deep for Elliott. And that's caught inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Prescott to throw it. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 7 at the Commander's 30-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Prescott on 1st down. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Schultz. Touchdown. Dalton Schultz, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
87 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. There he goes left side. He's at the 40.
across the 20. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Yeah, so hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead now down to 20.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. To throw, Mayfield. Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And here's a give to Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 21. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line.
Hey, we're 33.
They'll go again with Gibson.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On the draw, it's Gibson.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Joey Sly on for the Commander field goal of 31 yards now.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now You know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Washington moving on as we say so long, everybody. Thanks for watching.